who you are, but it's important you're here, I guess. I do have a question while we're talking about this before the bylaw question. I sat here, I don't know, 6 weeks, 2 months ago, I don't know how long it's been, and they talked about the surveillance cameras in the marina. And it went from $45,000, which nobody could track, wasn't my job, I've heard from everybody in one way or another. And then there was another $45,000. We put in $90,000 in those surveillance cameras, and at that time they were not working. So when the gentleman over there, and I don't remember his name, said something about, we just see blah, 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 with nothing on it, and, well, I mean, I'm right behind him with that one. The other thing is, too, I wasn't there, so I really wanted my question answered, and this is a good opportunity, because I do need facts, not rumor. I understand there was something going on with the golf course, and they asked for another $50,000. I said to the person I heard it, what's the initial investment? And they replied to me, we don't know. I'd like to know what the initial investment in the golf course was on this core sample project that we're now putting another $50,000 into. Can you help me, Chuck?
The initial investment in the golf course is a very complex issue that goes back to the settlement of a lawsuit in the 1970s, whereby certain properties were conveyed by the developer to the association. I assume there are accounting that costs were assigned at that time.
Well, when did this gentleman...
Please,
I just wanted to help you. Okay, go ahead.
I'm sorry, this way. And the audit that was just performed is the audit of last year's operation. It is not an audit that goes back to the 1970s. And again, I don't know the answer to where original costs were up.
No, not original cost. I'm talking about the original cost for the core sampling that's going on now.
For the what?
Isn't there sampling going on now?
He doesn't have anything to do with it.
He doesn't have anything.
Oh, no, he's just the auditor.
He's just the auditor. I told you I didn't know who you were. You should have gotten out of here when you could. So I am still interested in knowing what the initial investment was that somebody was asking for another $50,000 for at the last meeting. Finance meeting.
So far as I know, nobody is asking for $50,000.
They're $50,000 over budget. Is not okay. Again, that's why I'm here. I'm here to verify.
Nobody's asking for any money put into anything at the moment.
So when somebody's over $50,000 budget, that doesn't mean that comes from somewhere? I told you I don't know, Chuck. I'm asking.
All right, now, again, don't hold it. I don't memorize these numbers. But when we are talking about something in comparison to budget, for the year or the 8 months to date. Back at the beginning, this time last year, we made estimates of what we thought the golf course would bring in each individual month up to now, and we made estimates of what we thought the expenses would be. And I believe that right now, I'll go to Andy or somebody or
so
the figure.
Can I clarify her question?
You know it better than I do.
Please.
Your question is legitimate. It did come up in the finance committee.
That's what I heard.
About using sand as part of their operational budget. I'll let Andy explain more now in a second. But to back up a little bit of what you're asking how does the auditor play in with the camera? And how does the auditor play in when the GM decides to spend
I think
something?
the man over there in the green hat said, we don't see anything. We see these figures every once in a while, but we don't know what goes where, really.
Okay.
So that, I don't know what his name, what is your name? Terry, what Terry said. So I'm just saying that because I want to know this extra $50,000, whether it's over budget or they're asking for it.
Yeah, so it's two issues, Helen. So the auditor here, his job, or the audit team, comes in and they take samples of all throughout the random samples. They get to choose a random sample. And they're basically checking to see if the board verified, or the GM, depending on where the budget comes from, if there was an authorization. Now, I may disagree as a member, I might disagree with that expense, for example, the 90K on the cameras. However, he validated that there was approval to spend all the way up to that amount. Even though the initial was 40K, we went up to 90K. The auditor's job is to verify that all along the way, every time we spend those dollars, they're verified. That's where they're validated.
They verified with a vote?
No, they're verified through either whatever, if it's capital, it has to be approved by the finance committee and then the board.
And then the board,
If it comes
okay.
out of Dave's budget,
Okay, that's what I
then he
mean.
has
Okay.
to authorize that.
So it has to be approved by the board?
Depending on the account that it comes from. So capital, yes. Once we give Dave a budget, for example, the stand is not a capital expense, it's an operational expense. So it just has to be authorized ultimately through different levels of managers leading up to Dave. But I'll let Andy clarify on the question that came up about the stand at the finance committee.
The issue about the stand is they were telling us they were going through rebuilding some of the, rebuilding, continuing to work on our greens so they stop flooding so we can get revenue during the winter, which takes more sand. Golf at the moment, through 8 months, is only $11,000 worse than budget net income.
Say that again.
They are $11,000 worse than budget for net income.
Say that in English, please.
They spent their budget, their net income is $11,000 less than we expected it to be in the budget.
And this is August
This is at the end of August, through 8 months.
Okay.
And that's an audited figure?
This is 2011, sir. Audits are done after the year is over.
And then we have 4 months, we have September, October, November, December.
And they have budgets for those months that they need to meet.
They have budgets?
They have a budget for every month. We budget 12 months for the year.
They have budget that comes out of our funds or their funds?
They have a budget in operations. If they produce money like
They have a budget in operations.
Right.
They
Like
have
all
a budget in
departments.
operations.
Right. Now, most years,
Alright.
golf has provided net income, which has reduced your dues.
I've heard that for a long time.
No, it's 2 years. It's the second year they might lose money.
Oh.
All right? All the other prior years, they've committed over $1 million they brought into
Okay.
net operations.
All right, okay.
Okay? But they've spent a lot of that in their capital. That's how it
So my
committee
question
works.
is, so we have operations for everything else that is falling apart, but we have it for the golf course.
We have budgets. No, ma'am, you're taking words out of context.
What?
We have a budget for every department. Accounting spends money every month.
Then
and
why
has a
are we
budget.
so falling apart?
Because we don't have any money coming in enough to spend to take care of our amenities. If
But
you
we
would-
have it for the